Hello, second grade. Are you ready for your art lesson? This week we are going to be looking at a different flower. We are going to be studying a few different flowers that are butterfly attracting flowers. So we've already looked at the sunflower. That was our beginning flower. It was the one that we used to understand how to draw flowers, how to look for shapes. And this time we're going to move on to the Aster flower. But before we go too far, let's look at some really good examples of some finished artwork that I've gotten from my students and their sunflowers. Now, I keep telling your second grade teachers, and I'm going to keep telling you guys too, that you are doing awesome with these sunflowers. They look fantastic. I'm very impressed with them. You guys have been filling up the page. You've been making them big. You've been working on them. They look really good. Now, let's talk about what we're going to need. Today, you're going to need a pencil. You're going to need some blank drawing paper, preferably in your sketchbook. You will need your coloring supplies, and it's kind of weird, you're going to need your STEM journal. Now, I have it called my STEAM journal because I have art, I add art to it, but yours says STEM, and that's okay. Your learning targets. I can look for easy to draw targets easy to draw shapes to make your flower look, to begin your drawing. And I can add detail to make my flower look real. So let's look at the flower that we're working on today. So we are going to be working on something called the Aster flower. Now, Aster is Latin for star. Can you figure out why it's called the star flower? Yeah, it does kind of look like it's a starburst, or there's a star with all of the little pieces coming off. So this is a black and white drawing, and this is what we're going to use as our model for our picture today. All right, today in your STEM journal, you're going to find a page where you can practice a small Aster flower. Then in your sketchbook, you're going to do the big, detailed Aster flower. So let's take a look at what this will look like. So I've got my two books here, my STEM journal, my sketchbook. I'm going to start in this one because I want to find a page that has some extra space. Now, it doesn't have to be a huge amount of space. You can even just use the back of a page. That's fine, as long as you can find your picture again somewhere. And the first thing we're going to write is the word what? Art. Then we're going to write this word, A-S-T-E-R, Aster. And you can write flower next to it if you want. You don't have to write flower. So we're going to practice a small Aster flower. This is just going to be a quick one. First thing we're going to do, draw a small circle. Not a huge circle, but kind of a small one. Then we're going to go back over and make it bumpy. And then we're going to do really long, skinny ovals. I mean, like, really long. And I'm going to draw one that goes up. And I'm going to draw another one that goes down. Then I'm going to turn my page. I'm going to go one that goes this way and one that goes that way. So once you have those four, then in between all of them, you can probably fit, like I've been able to fit about 3 in between them. And again, this is our small one and this is our practice. Then we're going to come down here, we're going to add the stem, but we're not done because we're going to add that little bud to the flower. And we're going to draw a circle. We're going to cut it in half and we're going to make a zigzag line and we're going to attach it back that way. And that's just going to be our practice. So we practice something pretty quick in your STEM journal. Now, what does this look like when we are drawing the big Aster flower? So I'm going to open up my page. I'm going to find a blank page. When we are working with the big Aster flower, we are going to need to find a circle. something that is a big circle. This is like when we were working with the sunflower. So you do want to find something that you can trace it as a circle. And that's a similar step. That's one of the reasons why I wanted you guys to do the sunflower first. So I drew my big circle. Now on the inside, I'm going to draw a smaller circle. And I'm going to go back through, I'm going to make it bumpy. And you can erase some parts of that. Now, the next step is going to be us drawing these long, skinny ovals for petals. Do you remember what we did with them? We do one first that goes straight up and down. So we've got that one. Then I draw one that goes up and down like that. So it's like we've got one line going up. I'm going to turn my page. I'm going to draw one that goes that way. And notice that I'm making sure mine go all the way to the edge. And I want to draw another one that goes out that way. We're not doing baby petals with this one because this is a different flower. This isn't the sunflower. Now I'm going to go through and I'm going to draw some more of these going through these long skinny ovals. I can fit a few more in this one. In the steam journal, I was only able to fit a few. But I can probably fit some more. And I'm trying to keep spreading them between them. And I'm gonna kind of squish one of those in there. That's okay. There's gonna end up being a lot of really skinny flower petals. It's okay. Yep, I have to squish another one in there. That's all right. I'll make that a little bit bigger. And then my last section. Ta-da! Now, I've got all of the front petals drawn, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this circle, because remember we drew that lightly. I'm going to go back over any of those little points that I accidentally erased. And like we did the background petals or the back petals on the sunflower, we're going to do the same thing here, but they're going to look again like this one. So this one's just going to be a long skinny U in the background. Long skinny U. They were V's last time, but this time we're going to make them U's. And now we've got our flower petals done. We're going to add the little bud and the stem. So the stem's going to come down, and it's a pretty straight stem again, and they're skinny. We don't have a lot of flowers that have really big stems. So over here on this side, I'm going to draw a circle, or maybe a little bit of an oval, and I'm going to draw a line down the middle. Now I'm going to pick this up so you can see it a little bit better. And I'm actually going to take and draw a zigzag next to it. And then inside I'm going to draw those lines because that's going to be the bud. Then you connect it back. And now you've got a little bud coming up. And they don't have very big leaves. They have a lot of small leaves. So I can add some extras coming down. All right. So when it comes to coloring an aster flower, they really are purple. That's one of the reasons why I like them a lot. So I'm going to bring out, they have yellow and orange inside, so that's kind of a nice orange. And they are actually purple, so I'm going to get one purple, then I'm going to do like a light purple, because I'm going to do two different kinds. And then I'll need green and dark green. So some of you probably already have a pretty good idea of what to do. So the inside, pretty simple. That's really the only part of it that's going to be orange. That's easy. Got that. The back petals are going to be the darker purple. And then the front petals are going to be the lighter purple. And they'll stand out against each other. The bud is going to be the dark purple. And then I'm just going to do some, kind of like we did with the sunflower, where we make some spots that are darker. Alright, so once you are done coloring your aster flower, and you don't need these extra, take your picture and put it up on your seesaw. I'll see you guys next week.